people, internet. I don't know how to start this video. If you're watching this, you're probably falling to one of three categories. The first one being the 7 subscribers I already have, who I think are all people I went to high school with. So now they are finding out, or are about to find out, what my very nerdy hobby is that I picked up during college. The second group of people are the people in the JJDL that have slightly peer pressured me to make this video. And the third will be anyone else in the future that decides to look back on what my oldest video is, or at least the oldest video that will be on this channel. Since the older videos will stay forever unlisted, since they contain information that could dox me. And I don't want that to happen, obviously. But the real point of this video is my JJDL Season 3 draft analysis. This is my second season in the league. For people unfamiliar with Pokemon Draft League, a set of coaches normally ranging from like 8 to 16 all take turns drafting teams in a snake format. I got the 12th pick in the draft, which isn't great positioning, but I'm okay with it. And yeah, there were a few Mons I was looking at picking up, but all of them got sniped. So woo me. So as you see, my round one pick is Great Tusk. I decided to pick up Great Tusk since I have prior experience with it, and I did enjoy it. It gives me a good hazard setter with stealth rocks, as well as a good, maybe debatably the best hazard removal in the format. With its access to rapid spin, it also has good stats. Uh, as base 131 attack, which would be useful, as well as 87 speed, which is nice if I want to go booster energy speed set or get +1 through rapid spin. It also be quite bulky, like it has great, nice natural bulk, especially on the defensive side. I can run Assault Vest to become more specially defensive, which I may do. Pro Synthesis, of course, can be procced through Sun or Booster Energy. I don't have a Sunsetter on this team, so probably the only time this will ever be procced is if I have Booster Energy. But yeah, this was my first pick. I'm excited to use this one again. And with the second pick, we have Thunder's Variant, Caesar's Palace. You've probably figured out my nickname theme for this season since Grey Tusk is called Sahara. This will be one of my Terra captains. The Terra ruling was we had 25 points plus Terra cats. So, for example, Thunder Steering was, I believe, 14 points for non-Terra, but if you want to be one of my Terra captains, it got bumped up to 19 points. I can have 1 to 3 Terra captains that all add up to less than 25. So after I decided to make Thunder Steering one of my Terra captains, I have 6 Terra points left, which, as you see in the future, we do end up using. So yes, I decided to go with Thunder Steering because I was actually sniped again, which you can debate if they're considered snipes this early in the draft. I wanted Galarian Slowking, which I wanted actually a Hail Setter, since with my third round pick, I was deciding I did want to pick up Thunder Steering and wanted that to be my Terra Captain and make my 6 point Terra Captain Beartick. So I could have like a chili reception, slush rush aspect to my team. But Galarian Slowking got picked with 4 picks before me. It was taken at the wheel. So I just decided to pick up Thunder Sailing since I think it is one of the best Terra Captains that was still left on the board. So it'll be nice if it is free Terra, so I can run, of course, Terra flying, so I can actually have a reliable special flying attack. I also like Terra Ice, Terra Fairy, could also just do Terra Electric if my opponent doesn't have a ground type. That'd be nice. So with my third pick, I decided to take something new. I decided to take Iron Bundle, and that was because I wanted an ice switching since my previous two mons are both weak to ice, and Iron Bundle isn't the greatest ice switching. It's not bulkiest of waters, but it does give me a very nice speed stat of 136, which is very nice. I originally wanted some other high speed mons like Cinderace or Greninja, but those were taken before. So Iron Bundle ended up falling to me, which is good. Me being the Vegas Corviknight, I want to get lucky with hitting my Hydro Pumps, because that is basically the accuracy. But when worst comes to worst, Water Pulse is a move that Iron Bundle gets. So I may or may not run that this season. But yeah, I was really happy with my first three picks. With my fourth pick, I decided to go more comfort pick, someone I'm familiar with. That would be Sylveon. I had in the season before this, the JJDL season 2. This was very much a reach. There were much better fairy types on the board. I'm pretty sure Clefable was still on the board, which would have been much better for my team, but I wanted to use Sylveon again. So yeah, I decided to pick up Sylveon. It gives me uh, more special offense, which is nice, but it can also be a very nice special wall. It can pass wishes and do some other stuff. It gets the Tron Pass, which we are allowed to use in this league, as long as we don't pass stats. Uh, Also, we don't get mystical fires since this is not national dex, but we still have some decent coverage. We get Shadow Ball and Psychic slash Side Shot. So it's not terrible. But yeah, Sylveon Ario is my fourth pick. Going around round five, I decided to go with another mod I'm familiar with. That is Hisuian's Doorwork. It gives me another nice speed tier between 136 and uh, Iron Bundle and 101 Iron Thunder Starion. It gives me Hisuian Zoroark is based 110. It gives me more special offense, so I will be hitting everything very hard from the special side. But it also allows me to play some fun mind games with the illusion ability. I can run Scarf, Stacks, Expert Belt. I can set up with Nasty Plot, as well as Sword Stance. Sword Stance is a move that Zuzur gets, and it does have a decent base 100 attack. So that could be a set I bring, maybe. So with my sixth pick, I wanted a Steel type. I probably should have grabbed a Steel type before Hisuian Zoroark, but I was hoping that either Jirachi or Metagross would fall to me. However, both of those were taken in the eight picks between this pick and Hisuian Zoroark. So I stuck with Bronzong, which is another mon I actually had last season paired with Sylveon. And Bronzong did okay with my team last season. It does give me a second Stealth Rock user, so I don't have to run Stealth Rocks on Great Tusk every week if I want Stealth Rocks. It gives me a nice physical wall, which I was sort of lacking. Like, technically, Iron Bundle has base 114 physical defense, but I don't think I will be running a single defensive Iron Bundle this season. Like, Great Tusk does, of course, have a good physical defense stat, but this is the second one, which would be nice. It has a great typing and steel psychic. And with levitate and heat proof, I can remove one of its two abilities. It also gives me a ground immunity with levitate. Since before I did have Thunder Therian, but since it is my Terra Captain, there's a chance if I Terra out of my flying type, that could open myself up for ground attacks. So having levitate would be nice, which I do. It also, of course, gets like gyro ball and set trick room. Has hypnosis. I can run like gravity hypnosis sets that could be a fun tech ring. But yeah, we got New York, New York, my bronze on. And moving on to my seventh pick of the draft, I decided to pick up a Hisuian Arcanine. And Hisuian Arcanine really cleared up a lot of the weaknesses I had on this team. I didn't have the only fairy resist I had going into before this pick was Bronzong. My only flying resist, actually no, I had decent flying resist. I had Bronzong and um, Thunder's T or Thunder's T, but Thunder's T is my Terra Captain, so it may not always resist. But it also gives me a good fire type switch in since didn't really have that before since my water type is Iron Bundle, which does not resist fire. So this gives me a really nice fire switch in. Gives me like intimidate, which is nice. I also get rock head so I can fire off powerful head smashes or flare blitz or I think this gets wild charge. It does get wild charge, which is nice. It also gives me a second like physical offense threat behind Great Tusk, which is nice. Also gives me a third stealth rock user, which could be nice. I could run a more defensive set with like Morning Sun and Will Wisp stealth rocks. It also gives me nice priority with extreme speed. Before my priority wasn't too great. I had like Shadow Sneak on Zorlark, and a few of my mons got Sucker Punch, but now I got some nice priority, as well as a second physical attacker. Next, we got Gudra. Now, Gudra is again a mon that I picked up just to cover some weaknesses. It gives me a good water resist, since before my only water resist was Iron Bundle, and Iron Bundle isn't the most defensive mon, so this gives me a good water switch in, as well as it gives me another fire switch in. So, assuming Archine won't be my only fire switch in. It also is a very specially defensive wall, which gives me a third, adding the other two being Sylveon and Bronzong, who can be both physical or special, both attacking and as a wall. But yeah, I'm happy with Gudra. It does give me another base 80 mon, but my, my speed tiers are already pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it. It has great coverage. It's like so many different types of moves. It can like spread toxics, like as knockoff. It can dragging tail things out so it can't be set up on. But yeah, like so far I'm pretty happy with my team. Next we got to my second Terra Captain. We got playing at Hollywood the Stun Tank. This gives me both a dark type and a poison type, as well as T-Spikes, which are always a nice thing to have. Before, my only psychic resist was Bronzong, which does 4 times resist, but this gives me an immunity, so I don't have to worry about getting like store power set up on. This gives me a grounded poison type to like, take the poison types hits, but also absorb key spikes. That's nice. Those get key spikes itself. I was debating on whether I would pick Stun Tank and be my second Terra Captain, or just take Hisuian Quillfish, which was a point higher. It was 7 points. but I wouldn't be able to tear it. But I ended up going with Skunking just because there may be a matchup where I do decide to bring a terror set, even though probably most weeks my terror, the mon I'll be carrying it will be my Thunderous T. But yes, that was my ninth pick. My final pick, I decided to pick up Grookey, or not Grookey, Thwacky, the evolved version, Mini Rillaboom. I only have 2 points left. This was the 2 point mon I felt best covered up some weaknesses and fit my team. There was also Spite Ops on the board, which would have gave me Sticky Webs. However, Thwacky does give me another decent water switch in. It can also set Grassy Terrain, which is nice, since I do have some walls like Goodra it that doesn't get a good recovery, so I can recover that do little recovery through grassy terrain as well as like leech seed sets. I can. It also does get grassy glide, so it does give me another like good priority move. With Eviolite, it can be pretty bulky. As mentioned before, it can like spread substitutes. I'm pretty sure it's knockoff. It does get knocked off. It gives U-turns, which gives me a good slower momentum for this team. Before, my only slow momentum was Baton Pass and Sylveon. So this gives me a second good slow momentum. So yeah, that is my 10-mon team for the JJDL Season 3. I'm overall pretty happy with the team. Like, there's no spikes, which is a small weakness, but I don't use spikes a ton normally, so it's not the biggest con. Like Great Tusk is my only form of removal. However, it's debatably the best mon in the format for removal. Definitely the best rapid spinner. That or a Tropicos. But yeah, this is my team overall. I'm excited for this season of JJDL, and I don't know how to end this video, so I will see you guys maybe sometime in the future if I decide to upload the matches of this league. But yeah, maybe I'll make more than one of these videos. So have a good day, and I will see you sometime in the future.